The Lamborghini Temerario has been spotted undergoing hot weather testing ahead of a possible debut at Monterey Car Week in August. While the exact timing is still unconfirmed, the prototype looks production ready. Will that car be a worthy Huracan successor? Let's find out. Codenamed the 634, the Huracan successor sports an edgy front fascia with slender headlights and hexagonal daytime running lights that also function as turn signals. They're joined by a heavily stylized intake as well as a prominent front splitter. Moving further back, we see an evolutionary greenhouse and sculpted doors channeling air into angular scoops. Vented buttresses, a wide central exhaust, and hexagonal taillights add to the aggressive design. A modest spoiler, an aggressive diffuser, and a ventilated rear end round out the rear view. Spy photographers didn't get a good look inside, but previous pictures suggest the cabin will share many elements with the Revuelto. Expect a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, an 8.4-inch infotainment system, and a 9.1-inch front passenger display. Sporty switchgear, angular accents, and a flat-bottom steering wheel are also likely. While several questions remain unanswered, Lamborghini has confirmed the car will be a high-performance electrified vehicle featuring a twin-turbo 4-liter V8 with 789 horsepower and 538 pound-feet of torque. It will also have an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission and a hybrid system with 3 electric motors. This setup will deliver a combined output of over 888 horsepower, a staggering 258 horsepower more than its predecessor. While horsepower boost is definitely a big upgrade, the main question remains: will the new V8 be able to outshine the naturally aspirated V10 of the Huracan? Well, we will have to wait and see to find out. Speaking of V8-powered beasts, let's shift our attention to the Koenigsegg Gamra, as big changes are coming after this family hypercar as well. When Koenigsegg first announced the 4-seater Gamera, it was equipped with an innovative hybrid powertrain that combined a 2-liter twin-turbocharged 3-cylinder engine with a claimed 590 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque, and 3 electric motors for a combined 1,400 horsepower and 1,364 pound-feet. Koenigsegg also managed to fit the 5-liter twin-turbo V8 from the Jesko into the 4-seater, along with a 9-speed transmission for a claimed 2,300 horsepower and 2,028 pound-feet. The plan was to offer this engine as a $400,000 option, while the 3-cylinder would be the base model. However, Christian von Koenigsegg recently revealed that the 3-cylinder, known as the Tiny Friendly Giant, or TFG, has been abandoned for the Gamera. It seems the $400,000 price tag did little to ward off adopters. While recently speaking with Top Gear on a podcast, Christian said most Gamera customers switched to the V8 when given the choice, which obviously makes sense. The car maker then convinced the remaining holdouts, wanting the TFG, to go with the V8 instead. Although the 3-cylinder model was down almost 1,000 horsepower from the twin-turbo V8, it was going to be roughly 600 pounds lighter than the V8 Gamera. It was also set to be the first vehicle fitted with Koenigsegg's innovative free-valve camless piston engine. Unfortunately, the allure of the most powerful V8 proved too strong for buyers. Christian hopes the company can find a place for the engine in a future vehicle, but nothing concrete has been announced. However, instead of lamenting the engine's fate, CarBuzz journalist Anthony Capretto compiled a list of cars that could be a good fit for the nearly 600 horsepower 3-cylinder engine. Here are my top 5 picks from that list. First up, the Subaru BRZ and Toyota GR86 twins. The thing with a 3-cylinder powertrain is buyers are already going to have their prejudices against it. It doesn't matter if the engine makes 1,000 horsepower, it's still a 3-cylinder, and we all have our ideas of the types of cars an engine like that should fit. It's probably something small, fun, with tons of potential. This perfectly fits the nature of the BRZ and GR86 twins. Yes, these are cheap, entry-level sports cars, and the engine itself probably is more expensive than many cars in this list, but just imagine if they had access to the ultimate high-revving, small-displacement engine on the market. Toyota and Subaru twins are young enough that you don't feel anyone would be too upset about them being offered without a boxer engine, and they don't need access to all 592 horses either. 450 or 500 would be more than plenty enough to get you into trouble. Add a bunch more performance upgrades, give them the STI and GRMN badges, and you'd have something really special. Before we move on to second place, please consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content. Now, let's continue. Second place goes to the Lotus Amira. The Amira is a small, nimble sports car from a storied automaker that prides itself on the capabilities of its products. Its current powertrains come from Toyota and Mercedes, showing its willingness to partner with engine suppliers. The Amira is also said to be Lotus's last combustion model, deserving a powerful send-off. The TFG would fit perfectly with its image and would attract buyers' interests. Call it the Amira John Player Special. Give it a cool historic livery and add $100,000 to the price, and it would likely sell out in days. third place goes to the Audi RS3. The Audi RS3 is already one of the wildest compact sport sedans on the market, pushing 401 horsepower out of a rare 5-cylinder engine. Its quattro AWD setup and unconventional nature make it a solid landing place for an engine as equally unique as the TFG. Fourth on the list is the Subaru WRX. Although the WRX is more refined than ever before, Subaru still has room to introduce a more fun and powerful model. The WRX has a strong following, but its faithful have shied away from the current generation due to polarizing looks and the lack of an STI variant. While the old regular STI would be nice, how about something even more intense? Something like a new Halo model for the brand to get customers' blood pumping. Throw the TFG in, call it the STI S210 or something rally inspired, and dominate the competition once again. Last on the list is the Nissan Z. The new Nissan Z is the first time in a long time that a model with the Z name is truly competitive. Its twin-turbo V6 currently makes 420 horsepower in its most powerful Nismo trim. Don't get me wrong, that engine is really good, but we can't help but hope for a little more. Enter the TFG. Nissan could completely revive its performance status with this move and fill the hole left by the death of the GTR. Pull a name from the brand's history or come up with a new one like Nismo Spec R or Z432. Make it the ultimate Z and put the rest of the world on notice like the R35 GTR did in 2007. Speaking of engine swaps, I have to mention Mad Mike's crazy rotary swapped McLaren P1 drift car. In my opinion, this incredible build truly deserves your attention. Be sure to check out my video about it right here. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video.